well.
Drink good, live well.
Drink good, live well. Hey tastemakers, it's Maxine, your favorite wine specialist, guiding you on your journey through fine wine. And it is Monday, so you know that it is Monday Wine Q&A. So let's hop right into it. As I've mentioned on previous videos, I enjoy entertaining at home, and lately I've been honing my skill set of table setting, also known as tablescaping, because it definitely elevates the guest experience. So now we have our fabulous friends, the food is prepared. What are we missing next? Of course, wine. Tastemakers, it is with great pleasure that I introduce you to fellow wine professional, certified sommelier, and hospitality expert, David McCrea. With an illustrious resume in hospitality, boasting some of the most prestigious establishments this region has to offer, David now consults for both private and commercial clientele through his very own passion project, the Nostalgia Group, an homage to his hometown of New Orleans.
Thank you so much for the opportunity,
Hey,
Max.
David, welcome. So glad to have you on Monday Wine Q&A.
Happy to be here, happy to be here.
So David is going to teach us how to properly serve, whether you're hosting a dinner party, girls' brunch, or just a night in with friends. He is going to teach us how to serve wine to your guests.
I love the opportunity to be able to share with you all the classically trained experience I have in wine stewardship. We're going to start with a bottle of champagne this evening. Champagne is, of course, the symbol of celebration, revelry, and coming together. So let's go ahead and Max's favorite, right?
So let's get to my favorite part, and let's sip and taste and introduce the wine.
First in the lineup this afternoon, a lovely selection by Miss Anderson herself, Mrs. Anderson, I should say. Forgive me. Very well. Pommard and Company, the Brut Reserve. This is predominantly the Chardonnay grape. As many of you may already know, there's only 3 grapes that are allowed to be produced in the Champagne region of France: Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Meunier. The 3 of those grapes are often used in combination, but this particular bottle is going to be predominantly Chardonnay with just a little bit of Pinot Meunier to give it a rounder mouthfeel. And sticking with tradition, we're always going to make sure the cork is faced away from a guest. These are actually pretty dangerous, and people may really like the sound of the pop that the cork makes, but that is actually quite the faux pas in the sound world. So we're going to avoid that and make sure to always secure that. Keep a thumb over the top of it. Slowly unscrew the cap. The cage is just more prominently known. And again, always securing that so you never lose it. And it's a slight rotation. And so you need nothing but that.
We want a hiss, not a pop.
A hiss, not a pop, for sure.
Cheers to the hiss.
Cheers to the hiss. And as to be expected, Max has afforded us a lovely selection of glassware today. Understand that every particular style of glass has a purpose. The champagne flute, used for sparkling wine, it presents wine in a beautiful way. You get to see the bubbles cascading up the side of the glass in the tall, slender glassware. The universal glass, which can be used for red and white wine alike, gives you a little bit more surface area, exposing that wine to oxygen, letting the wine develop in the glass as you enjoy it. And of course, her lovely, if you would tell us about this.
This is our water goblet. Yes. This is our water goblet with my tablescaping adventures. Now, I wanted a really nice glass to serve water in. I actually drink this glass just in the house whenever I serve water. Whenever I'm drinking water. So it is my new elevated water drinking experience.
So in wine service, well, you never want to fill the glass entirely. This will make for a huge mess, especially on a white linen tablecloth. So it's always calm muscle memory that you need to exercise here. Get it to the point. And overfilling the glass is actually not the way to go. The less in the glass, the better. You're able to appreciate it a little bit more. There's a little bit more balance to the glass as well versus you having a full bulb of glass on top of a skinny stem. So it's important to understand that not all champagne is created equal. This is a very unique style. And as you explore the world of champagne, as Max could tell you, you're going to find the more oxidative styles, the more bright and acidic styles, the more round, fruit, and cheerful styles, right? This particular kind, bright acidity, like as I said before, predominantly the Chardonnay grape, which is usually, at least in this particular region of Champagne, going to be the grape used.
So I see that you're standing to the right and I'm over here. Walk me through why you're standing on this gentleman's side.
Okay, correct. So as I'm sure you've come to appreciate, anytime there's a properly set table, the beverages are to the right-hand side of every guest, right? Your glassware will always be to the right side of you. So the way to figure it out, anytime you're sitting at a table, bread, drink. If you do that, the east side of your thing.
Skill I've
Very
been
well.
using for years.
Very well. That is how you know what glasses belong to you if you're ever sitting at a table where you're in close quarters and you don't know which glassware to reach from. Understand that to your right side will always be the glassware that you're going to be using.
Thank you for sharing that with us. So as we're pouring, walk me through. I see you have your cool towel.
A very, very simple tool known as a serviette. A very, very simple tool, a white linen napkin, starched crisp. As clean as absolutely possible. A very poor indicator would be a som or any person serving wine to approach the table with a stained serviette. Never let that happen. Send that person away immediately.
Never let that happen. So when y'all see me with a serviette at my gatherings, just know I learned it from David.
Very well. So this is to catch any drippage and also to clear the lip of the bottle as you're serving wine. It becomes a mastery skill, I should say, once you're pouring and you can avoid any drip after you pull the bottle away. A quick catch, especially if you're at full extension across a larger table that you have here, Max, is to catch the last drop of wine with that serviette. So as not to, one, ruin the white tablecloth that you may be sitting at, or spill on a guest that is in their finest of attire. Another very important part of service, I should say, is going to be the rotation at the end of each pour. That is supposed to catch the last drop of every pour that you make. Max, this is showing lovely. What made you choose this for us today?
I was first introduced to the Pommard & Co. during my champagne soiree, where I enjoyed the Blanc de Blancs, and it was just fabulous. So I'm exploring more from the portfolio.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Well, cheers to that, for
Cheers
sure,
to that.
absolutely.
So now we have served our champagne. We are going to transition to our still wines. One of my favorite red wines is Pinot Noir, and my husband, Joseph, has developed a palate for Burgundy, which I really enjoy. So we have been collecting a few bottles. And today I wanted to give us a treat of a Burgundy because David loves Burgundian wines. So we had to serve the Burgundian wine for our song today.
Well, thank you so much. As always, you're quite the gracious host. Thank y'all for sharing this with us today. It is quite the treat indeed. This is a smaller producer in a very smaller sub-region of the Côte de Nuits. It's Nuits-Saint-Georges. Again, as I told you, Côte de Nuits is the northern part of the Côte d'Or. Côte d'Or is a region of Burgundy. You'll come to notice that any old world wine, particularly in France, everything is described by where it comes from. That indicates the value of it, right? The particular appellation, where it grows, how small, how exclusive, how rare it is what's going to indicate the value of this. Again, anytime a red wine comes from Burgundy, it is always going to be Pinot Noir. Anytime a white wine comes from Burgundy, it's always going to be Chardonnay. There are only two grapes grown in that region, and that is how we know what white and red Burgundy are.
David, you expressed with us your love for Burgundy. What was the Burgundy wine, or what was it that captivated you about Burgundy and that made it your favorite?
So the palate is a muscle. I like to refer to it as, right? There's something that you have to. It's something that you have to develop, right? You catch me 5 or 6 years ago. I'm drinking nothing but Merlot and Zinfandel, like fighting through a glass of Zinfandel. Never absolutely enjoying it. It wasn't until I began my studies and got some experiences with some more tenured wine professionals that I got to my first exposure to Burgundy. And I was like, oh, it's just Pinot Noir. There's nothing special. There's nothing special about that whatsoever. But you have to understand that what makes wine is where it grows and what type of soil that it grows in, and how that winemaker then juices those grapes and produces the wine thereafter, right? So Burgundy, like I said, home to some of the most exclusive wine producers in the world, some of the most expensive and elegant wines you'll ever taste. They take a really, really long time to produce their wines.
So now that you have a glass, let's walk through this wine and enjoy it together.
Well, yeah, as I was telling you earlier, Burgundy is just an absolute incredible representation of what Pinot Noir can do based on the clay type soil that it has there. The grapes just hold so much more flavor than they would in any other type of soil, or terroir, as we've come to know the soil that it grows in, right? Very well. So
first, we want to smell our wine, as you all know.
So again, those of you, I'm sure you're very, very familiar with it. The wine appeals to 3 senses: sight, smell, palate, right? So you always want to look at the wine, observe the wine, its color, the detail. The rim variations is something me and Max have been working on in our blind tasting practice. That'll indicate the age of the wine. Thereafter, the color can indicate, and the translucency can indicate the particular grape or the family of grape that it comes from, right? The best way to be able to judge a glass of wine, always look at it over a white surface. Another very handy use of our serviette, right? Very well. So we're gonna look at it this way, look over the surface.
Okay.
Let's call that ruby, wouldn't you agree?
I would agree.
I would agree.
It
Very
is
well.
ruby. Hold on, I'm gonna look at it through the serviette too. All right, I'm confirming that it's ruby. All right.
Very well. So again, now to the nose.
Oh, this is beautiful.
It is. It is.
Oh, very beautiful aromatic. Nice berries on that one.
I'm gonna call blue and red fruit. I'm getting hints of ripe blueberry, ripe strawberry.
Confirming.
Absolutely, for sure, for sure.
All right, to my favorite part, tasting.
Tasting, let's do it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Gosh, this is beautiful. The thing I really enjoy about Burgundy is just this elegance. What notes are you picking up from this?
Same as presented on the nose, it's definitely presenting on the palate. Really ripe blue and red fruit, blueberries, strawberries. There's even a little hint, some floral notes there. And like I said, the tannins are very, very well integrated. That's the elegance of Burgundy for sure.
What are we eating with this?
You can do a lot of things, actually, I think. Of course, you want to stay away from your lighter foods. It does have a little bit of body to it, so you want a dish that's going to be able to be enjoyed. I would call the smoked salmon maybe that you have here on the table this evening would be great.
So I'm thinking, so we have the salmon. What about duck?
Absolutely, absolutely. A perfectly seared duck breast, maybe with a little bit of a fruit compote, a raspberry compote or something on top would do absolutely perfect with this. So anytime you're pairing wine, and you know this as well as I do, like you look for the things that are present in both the wine and the food, right? So you got the red and blue fruit here. You want something with a little bit of red and blue fruit in your dish as well, right? Awesome. Perfect.
So David, we greatly appreciate you joining us
you.
today, and we
Wonderful
look forward to
opportunity
you
to have
coming back again to
I will
Monday
be back,
Wine
for
Q&A.
sure.
Put in the comments if you want to see David again on Monday Wine Q&A. This has been a delight. Thank you, and until we meet again, drink good, live well.